everybody, this is Glenda with Fralins and Friends Crafts Plus. This is going to be something completely different than what I expected or probably you expected. Joe made me some new shadow boxes for our, like the plant penguin with the slide, and he made me another one. Okay, I don't think I had it on before. I have sanded this down a bit, just to kind of rough it up. It's stained, but it's not varnished. And wiped it down to get the dust off. I'm going to prime this, like just this part. I'm not going to do this or this part. I want them to look natural. But the rest of it I'm going to paint white. And I'll probably do a couple coats and to make sure it's covered. It is wood. So it'll soak up some of this paint. And then I'll come back later and start with the kind of a little hole there. Anyway, I'll come back later and we'll start with putting the actual painting the actual scene in here before we make the penguin. I've had to speed the film up because otherwise we'll never get through this. Now, I learned a lot about penguins and the Arctic and the Antarctic, and so I wanted to kind of share that with you. Now, do any of you know why there are no penguins in the Northern Hemisphere? There's several possible reasons, and there's all kinds of conjecture, but there are no penguins in the Northern Hemisphere. They are the Arctic Circle, the Arctic. For one thing, when you get up in the Arctic Circle, if you are where they can get to fish and things to eat, then they have too many predators. There are polar bears, foxes, and all kinds of things. And when you get up to the actual ice on the Arctic, it's too dense. They can't get through it to get down and get any fish to eat, because that's what they thrive on. That's what they live on. And as far as land mass, in the Arctic Circle, the only land mass is in North America, Russia, Asia, or Northern Europe, Northern Asia. The rest of it is all the ice, the Arctic ice. And Antarctica is partially land. And that's it's a continent because it's land as well as ice. And so, but there are no land creatures other than the penguins. There are no land dwelling predators for them. And they lay their eggs. They lay their eggs in rocky outcroppings and places like that. And then when they hatch, then one will go and feed while the other sits with the penguin, with the chick. So it's quite an interesting thing. I invite you to study up a little bit. I wanted to add real quick that penguins live all over the southern hemisphere. They are in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. There are warm weather penguins, and there are several species that do live in the Antarctic, but not all penguins live in the Antarctic. There are several, but they all do live in the southern hemisphere. Interesting. Okay, I've removed all of my blue on the foil. What I've done here is I've put just more white into it, and so I've capped it off here. That's supposed to be mounds of snow, and then here is the ice slide. That's what I was going for. And then these are like, you know, kind of supposed to be like clumps of ice or snow in the water. So there's other stuff I want to do though before I call this a landscape, even though it's ice-scape. Get some foil. I'm putting just a little yellow and white together here. I want to get a light source in the heavens. Kind of right up in here. Streak that down through. Oops. I'm not going to put like a real, you know, global sun up there right now. I just don't really think it serves me well. But I do want to get a bit of a glow coming down. But just a bit. That's a little more than I wanted. There. Streaks of light. Well, that's good enough. I don't want to overdo it because then it'll just look wrong. I mean, you can see where the sun is. You just don't want to see every bit of it. There's where the light source is coming. Oh boy. I am going to call that for tonight as far as our nice little landscape for our Antarctic or South Pole penguin slide. We will talk to you again. I love you all again. See you tomorrow for a penguin